see a few of you have joined. Hi, Gina. Hi, Marissa. Hi, Antonia. Hi, Scrunchy Bunny. Raylene. Heather. Sky the Slay. Leader of Pack. Ashley B. Courtney Feldman. Who's that? Shannon. No. Jay Hammer. What's up? Johnny. Kathy. Welcome, everybody. Needed a big plume of smoke after that one. It's not even smoke, it's a plume of vapor, for God's sakes. But I needed that plume. You know why? Because I've got a lot to talk about, and I don't want to spend all night talking about it. I'm really heartbroken right now, guys. And I know that you can feel me. I know that you guys know what I'm about to say is not going to be fun. But, I've got to say it anyway. So, yeah. You guys know I've been under constant attack from the same people, the Wolf Pack, for years. I've revealed in the film, My Truth, the documentary, for those of you who took the time to actually watch it, that there's been a cult group of people who've been trying to silence me ever since this all began. They call themselves the Wolf Pack. But that's just the front of it, the face of it. That's just what they call themselves. It's a catchphrase. It's a bunch of trolls, internet trolls, and fans, former fans of the two Coreys, who were seduced by Judy and her followers and her gay friend Greg Harrison, who has, I don't know, I guess he's probably a closet gay, but then I feel like there may be a relationship going on there at the same time. Who knows? Anyway, it doesn't really matter. Point being, these people have been terrorizing me, and all they do is talk about me 24/7. And I'm tired of being talked about. I'm tired of being scrutinized. I'm tired of the lies. I'm tired of the scandals. I'm tired of all of it. Tired of all of it. And I can't take it anymore. I really can't. These people are the same people. Don't you realize they've been doing this for 3 years? Same lies, same people. It's their little club. And the worst part of it is, we had all of this evidence that was going to be in the film that we didn't put in the film because we wanted to stay focused on what was most important, which is showing what happened to us as children. We didn't want to get sidetracked with showing all of this stuff about the wolf pack because that would be giving them far too much attention, which is all they really want anyway. But as it was, we took all that stuff out. However, we have tons and tons and tons of evidence showing who these people are, as I posted some of it the other day. So, this girl who goes around making allegations named Jezebel, for those of you who look her up in the Bible, Jezebel is the vixen that comes to lie and deceit and deceive and trick people into terrorizing them and stealing from them, raping and pillaging until she's eventually eaten by wolves. eaten by wolves, probably a wolf pack, I would guess. But this very biblical story happens to be a reality, which is why I'm telling it, because right now this woman, this Jezebel, which is not her real name is Jackie, and she came to us under false pretenses. She came into my home and acted like she was a gypsy, playing music, looking for an opportunity, looking for a break, wanting to be part of the band. And she was not as talented as we would have liked, but she was talented in some areas. And we thought that she was a nice girl and we wanted to give her a break. And we helped her out. And she lived at our house for 2 years. 2 years she was on the road with us, living in our home. And while she was there, she asked me to do things which were against my principles, such as allowing her to go work as a stripper while working as an angel, which I said was absolutely against the rules and I wouldn't tolerate it. And then she asked if she could do webcamming in the house, which I also said that I wouldn't tolerate. And all of this, I believe, was to set me up. She was hoping that I would say yes to something like this so that she could set me up. And it's obvious now, because look what she's trying to do. Even though I never gave her anything to work with, she still made stuff up anyway. So the point is that my wife came on, she talked about this. The woman wrote an op-ed to Child USA. She wrote an op-ed to SAG, and she wrote an op-ed on Twitter right as we were about to do this really important work for kids too. Now, what do you think the intention of doing this is? Yes, satanic, you're right, that is true. I showed pictures from her Facebook page. She has a Facebook page called Singing for Satan. Okay? That's who this Jezebel girl is. It's in her own writing. She calls herself a Satanist. This isn't my words. This is her words. I showed the post. Okay, that's from her Facebook page. And I also showed a picture where she says she's praying to Satan. Okay? So this is the girl that came into my life and pretended like she wanted to be an angel, of all things, when really she was there to cause mayhem and destruction. And she's continuing to cause mayhem and destruction by bringing back 2-year-old false allegations, which were already investigated by the LAPD. And she brings those up to my committee, which is a sexual harassment committee that we created at SAG to create laws to protect children. And that's the town hall that we were supposed to have. And there was so much chaos that was created by the wolf pack and by Jackie herself that we all became afraid that the attention would leave the focus of what we were supposed to be talking about, because we were going to get overrun by Wolfpack members and trolls who were going to try and sit there and push this agenda that I am a rapist and that I am a bad guy. This is disgusting, deceitful. But you know what? If you want to tarnish me, you want to attack me, you want to try and make up things that never happened with no victim, you want to sit there and you want to accuse me of all this terrible stuff that never happened on 2-year-old allegations that were investigated by the LAPD. SAG decided they were going to open an investigation. That's great. I wish they would have opened the investigation 2 years ago when the police did. But if they think that they can find something more than the police found, I would love them to find whatever they can. Because what they're going to find is the fact that these people have made false allegations for 2 years and continue to do so to try to damage my credibility. And instead, what it's done is take the voice for children's rights away today. Children paid a price because of this. They did not have their voices heard. We were not able to put forth the laws that I wanted to put into place. We were not able to propose those to the town hall because of this event. That was a choice that was made by the people who run SAG. The people on my committee, on the sexual assault committee, wanted to go forward. We wanted to go forward. But Gabrielle Carteris felt differently. So the children lose. The children's voices were not heard. I was not able to present what I wanted to present, which is very, very important information. And these laws must be put into place. These protections must be put into place for the entertainment industry to continue moving forward. I'm glad that there's been new laws addressed and put into place for women, sexual harassment protections. These are very important protections, and many of the women that were on the panel that day were supposed to be speaking about those things, and their voices needed to be heard. And that is why we ultimately decided we could not do all of this in one panel, because there was going to be way too much overlapping. Because you know what? The children's voice needs a seat at the table. And I was hoping to get one. I thought that maybe this could be the time, but no. Because it would get overshadowed again, right? Either that or it would overshadow everything. So the children lose. Their voice gets shut down again. Kids too gets shut down again. Do you see what I'm dealing with here? Do you see what I'm dealing with here? What is the point? What is the point of this? What is the point of what I'm fighting for? Why did I make this movie? Why did I risk my life? Why did I do all of this? Why am I doing what I'm doing? Why create new laws if nobody cares? Nobody cares. Y'all act like you do, but you don't. If you cared, you'd be investigating the allegations that were made in the film. That's what needs to be investigated. That's what should be investigated. That was the point of making the film. Not getting hung up on false accusations from uncredible sources about non-existent events with victimless fake crimes. No, let's not worry about children getting raped, which really happened. Let's make up some fairy tales and go chase our tail, instead of really talking about the laws that need to be changed. This is what happens. I want you all to see it in real time. My voice doesn't matter anymore. I'm sorry, but that's how I feel. I do not feel that I'm the right guy for this job. So I am going to withdraw from doing any of this anymore. Everybody wants to silence me, then that's what you want, that's what you'll get. Okay? I'm done. I can't do it anymore. I'm sorry. I can't be a punching bag. I can't fight for nothing. That's the worst part of it. It's not about me. It's about what is the point. right? I'm not going to just do it to do it. I don't need the attention. It's not a good kind of attention. Trust me, I don't want it. But if I'm not accomplishing anything, then that's much, much worse. I told them last night they should have just gone on without me and represented the laws the way that we discussed them in our private committee meetings so that they could at least have been on the table. That to me would have been a better move, but nobody wanted to go forward at that point. Everybody felt compromised because, we're all survivors in that committee. And we've all probably been targeted for victim shaming. And everybody knows how it feels. So, if you're a victim, if you're a survivor, you know what it feels like to not have a voice. And I just want the world to notice for one split second that I did what I promised. I kept my promise. I kept my word. I got the truth out. And now it's done. And I would do more if I could. I really would. But if I don't have a voice that means anything to anybody, then it's just not worth the fight. I mean, if it was making a difference, if there was investigations being open, if there was some kind of something, if somebody just acted like they cared, if it was being talked about in the news, anything, I would keep going. But it's just not the reality. It's a nothing burger. Okay? That's the way they're treating it. I don't count. Okay? Other victims, other survivors, they have a voice, they count, but not male survivors, I guess, not children. Because I certainly don't. And I don't feel that Corey did. So, unless somebody says something different to me, that's where I'm at with it. I'm going to let the movie finish because I said I'd leave it up for 2 weeks, and I keep my word, so it'll be up for another week. If you want to watch it, it's still there for another week. And then I'm done. I'm not going to have any reason to put it out again. And it's just not worth it. It's not worth the hell it's brought me. I know you guys want to help, but I can't. I can't do it anymore. So I'll be okay. I'm just not going to be on a lot. I'm just going to just walk away for a while and take a minute with my family and take a breath, because I just I want people to know what the laws were, though. I think that's important, so I'm going to say them right now before I leave. I'm going to say what the laws were that I wanted to implement into the union, and hopefully somebody carries the torch. I think that it needs to be mandatory that there's background checks on every single person who works on a set when there's a child present, no matter what. That law needs to be implemented, and that law needs to change now. The other law should be implemented immediately, is that there should never be a child on any set, production meeting, shoot, photography session, anything to do with business of any sort. No child should be there unattended or unaccompanied by his legal parent. It must be a mother or a father or a legal guardian that's been signed over to him by the courts, and no exceptions. There should be extra child teachers and welfare workers on the set in cases with multiple children. And all sex offenders should be restricted from being on sets at all times. But the industry doesn't know about them. Why? Because they don't check. Yes, it's a California law that you're supposed to check before you hire a child. It's a California law. Before you hire anybody to work, I'm sorry, before you let anybody work with children, if you let anybody work around children, you have to check their background and you have to see if they've ever been a registered sex offender. But nobody is doing it. Nobody is following that law. Nobody's enforcing that law. So, I implore you, please consider these very simple changes. Insist that there is a parent with a child in a place of work or business at all times. Make it mandatory, make it state law. Make mandatory background checks. These are very simple.